If it is fast, then please stop me at the same time. Okay. Okay. So in last session we are done. We have done this setup. Okay, RIP in graphical user interface. But today we will configure the same RIP by using a CLI mode. Okay. So for that we are just going to access this, and this is our firewall. In this firewall, what we will do? We will do a network under this network, and we need to delete the RIP first. Okay, just a minute. I'm getting one call. Okay, so we are just going to delete this. Okay, RIP. I just need to delete RIP. Okay, 0.0.0.0/0.0. Okay, so there is nothing. We just need to allow this. RIP has been done. We deleted this. Okay, now policy also we need to delete because we created policy on this. Okay. Okay, so policy also I'm deleting, and after this config router, I have already, now if you find there is nothing, right? Only static routing is there towards internet. Only static routing is towards internet 2.1. Okay. Now we'll do a configuration for config router RIP. Okay. Edit edit config router RIP. And so what if you don't know anything, you just hit the so. What is the command? Config router RIP, config network, edit one, next. Okay, like that we have to do. So config router we are already in there, right? Config router RIP and the config network, which network? 192.168.1.0, right? 1.0 is there. Just a minute. 1.0. Let me verify once the command. So we have a command already. I kept it here. Okay, the CIDR value is also required. Okay, no problem. Sorry. 1.0/24 192.168.1.0 config network, and the 255.255.255.0. Okay, in config router RIP. So config router RIP config network. Okay, after this network, enter. Okay, and the edit one, set network, set IP. What is this next? Let me verify. So config network, edit one, set prefix. Okay, we need to use the set prefix. Set prefix 192.168 dot. What is that? 1.0/255.255.255.0. Okay, and the next. What is the next one? Edit two, set prefix. Another network. What we have? 192.168.2.0, and the /24 is also fine. Let me verify. Yeah, it is fine. And the next, edit port number, edit third. Sorry, edit three, and then okay, edit new entry. Okay, make it as a 23, no problem. Edit 23, and this and the set prefix 192.168.3.0/24, and the next edit 4, and the set prefix what is this? 192.168.4.0, right? 4.0/24. So now we just saved it. Okay, and we are just out of this. So IP route, no, get router RIP. So if you hit it, you'll find it that first is, what is that? router RIP or default origin information originate has been disabled. Default metric 1, maximum out metric 0. Distance not showing here. Okay. Neighbor, not, no one is there. No neighbor is connected now. Neighbor means, neighbor means neighbor only. Network first 1.0, network second 2.0, network third. Third means we by mistake I hit at 23, right? So network 23 is a third 0. This is just a sequence. This is not a matter. Okay. Then we have 4.0. Okay. So now passive interface is also not configured. Okay. And redistribution is also not configured. Nothing has been configured, so no need to worry about this. So RIP has been done. If you check it now in the RIP, you'll find it. All is came now 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and 4.0. Correct? Is it done?
Yes.
Is it done? Yes. Okay, now we need to do the policy. For the policy, we have one more command. So what is the command? So config firewall policies, set one, name whatever the name if you wanted to give, you can give. You asked me one day, right? How to post it by by using this like that. How will like Cisco we can do or not, right? You ask me, right? So like that we can do. Yeah. So firewall policy. So there is no firewall policy. So we need to go here in the firewall policy admin because there is no copy paste option. Admin. And what is the firewall policy? Config firewall policy. Config firewall policy. What is the command? Config firewall policy. Edit one. Set name. Any. And the port 234 we are just calling service source address will be all. Destination address will be all. Services all. Schedule always. Action accept. And here I'm also set net enable. Netting is also need to required to enable, right? So I'm just going to configure this copy and I'm just pasting here. Okay. So all is done now. What is this? Something is getting wrong here. Okay, wait. Okay. Anyway, we will do one by one. Okay. Here, config firewall policy. Firewall policy. Edit one. Set name. Set name. Name is all to all. Set name all only. I'm just keeping it all. Set action. Set source interface. Port 2 and port 3 and the port 4 and the port 5. Okay. Set DST. Set DST interface. Port 2 and the port 3 and the port 4 and the port 5. Okay. Set source address. Set source address. What is the command? Source address, right? Source interface we received. Okay. Let me check. Keep it in the source address, SRC address, DST address. Okay. So here we'll do and the set source address, source SRC address, source address all. Okay. All. Set DST address all. Set action accept. Set services all. Services should be in capital. Okay. All should be in capital. Set services all. Set and set services. Set schedule we required. Set schedule always. Right. Set schedule always. After that set net. Set enable net. Set net. Set net enable. Okay. And that set anything else if I'm forgetting. Action, schedule, services, everything is done, right? Now we can save it. And so firewall policy. So the firewall policy we created, then by the name all, we called into this source as interface as a 2345, destination also 2345. Action is accepted, address is all, source and destination address both are all, and the set schedule always, set services all, net is enabled. Okay, so now if you hit here, if you check that you'll get the policy, right? Firewall policy and object, you'll get this firewall policy as well. Yeah, the policy has been created. Also net is enabled. Okay. So all is the same like whatever we are doing, whatever we have done in the last session in the GUI mode, in the same way we configured in the CLI mode. Okay. And that it is impacting directly into that GUI. Okay. Got it? So now all is same. Now we can if you hit, you'll get it right. Get router info. get router info routing table all. Okay, so you'll get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, everything. Now router is able to ping or not, firewall is able to ping or not the internet, execute ping .1.1.1.1. So it is able to ping, right? In the same time, whether the routers are able to reach or not. So B1, okay, enable configuration terminal, okay, configuration terminal, not configuration terminal, that is a ping, okay, ping 1.1.1.1. So 1.1.1 is also able to reach because this redistribution is already enabled. Last time before doing the configuration, I was not disable this, right? This network RIP, it was still enabled. If you check this, it is still enabled, right? The static. If you close this, you just disable this, apply, and now the router cannot reach. Now the router is able to reach, right? 1.1, but the now if you hit, it will not reach. Check, because there is no default routing has been shared by that this firewall. Okay, why we are using this default routing in that firewall? Anyone? Okay, now I'm just explaining. Let's suppose you are connected with the single branch, that is fine. Okay, then
Test
that is fine.
for test or
Hmm?
for test and checking the
No, no,
connectivity.
no, 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 wrong. Default routing, I enable default routing under RIP, right? I went to advanced. Under advanced, I enable I enable what?
Yeah,
Static, right?
the two
Static.
different networks. Then we need to
No,
do
no, no.
distribution.
I'm
Okay.
just explaining. Why I enable, like default routing we enable, and after default routing, this is send, or any device can send their next hop blindly, right? If the destination they don't know, if they don't know the destination, we are keeping what 0.0.0.0 and 0.0.0.0. Here 192.168.1.2 I kept it here. Okay, this is the my command in the static routing, but in the RIP we don't have this kind of command, right? Where we can do in firewall. So instead of this in this, we are what we are trying to explain, whatever that we are having that connected directly or indirectly connected, they can also get one default routing in. This is a star. Okay, I'm not a graphic designer, so I can't make a star. Okay, so a default routing kind of you'll get that. So we are enabling, let's suppose this is a branch one, that is fine. Branch two, that is fine. You can do manually here. Okay, manually you can configure default routing. As of now, we are not configuring any default routing, if you remember, in the routers, right? Eh, Hello. I was not
Yes.
configured anything I was not configured. If you check, so IP
Yes.
route, okay, there is no 0.0.0 towards our internet,
Yes.
right? Nothing has been there. So, so if it is not there, then nothing. No, if there is nothing like default routing, then if this device don't know the destination, like 1.1.1 is a related to the facebook.com, then the packet will drop, right? If suppose this router don't know about the 1.1.1 and I configure default routing, then blindly I don't know about this 1.1.1, but I know one person which is directly connected to me. I'm just sending this packet to this guy. This guy will receive the packet. Here also we are having one default routing. These devices also don't know about the 1.1.1.1 because we didn't found anything 1.1.1.1 in the routing table in the firewall, right?
Yes.
So again, this firewall, what this firewall will do? This firewall will do. I also don't know about the 1.1.1. So better, it is not in my routing table, but I know one person. Who is that person? The ISP. It will blindly send to 2.1, and the 2.1 know about the 1.1.1.1. So
Okay.
2 will reply to the firewall, and the firewall will receive the packet, and it will send. It will again reply to the device. Okay, and this device will reply to this particular PC. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Now why we are enabling it is, we can enable default routing in the in this router. Okay, I can enable default routing towards this route firewall. Okay, 0.0.0, and I will give 3.2 as a gateway. Okay, so no need to enable again this static, to go to the advanced and doing the enabling the static default routing under the RIP. Okay, so why I'm just doing, let's suppose this is a single branch. After this branch we have one more branch. Okay, After this branch, we have one more branch. After this branch, we are having one more branch, multiple branch, more than 100 branch are connected here. Okay. You can't do default routing in each and every routers, right? Here also connected multiple branch. Here also connected. Here also connected. Here also. Here also. Many branch are connected. Sub branches are connected. Okay. So you can't go and do default routing in every branches towards your gateway. Okay. So if suppose you are having 100 branch also, if you are enabling this option, okay, if you are enabling a default routing under RIP, then it will firewall will allow everyone to reach me. Okay, it is allowing anyone can come to me. Okay,
Okay.
got it my point? It is clear why we are enabling. Now again go here and extend it, and if you go to the here extend static and apply. Now again this router will hit to 1.1. Look, able to hit,
Yes.
repeat count 1000. So now it is again able to reach. Correct?
Yes.
So this is the beauty of RIP on this. Please mute from another device. I think Moz and Hozifa, you both are in the same place, right?
Yes.
That's the reason the voice is fluctuating. Okay. So now the same thing, this redistribution also we can do in the CLI mode. Okay. Let me disable first. Okay. In the CLI mode also we can do. Now again the R1 cannot now again R1 cannot reach. Okay. Hit. It is not reaching, right? Even B2 is already connected. And okay, B2 is a different branch. So if you ping 1.1.1.1, it will block for all. Okay. So now we will do this redistribution. We can enable in CLI mode. Okay, config router RIP. We need to enter in the RIP. Say now we can just hit the so. So redistribution option is there, right? Redistribute connected, redistribute OSPF. Okay, so and question mark. If you're hitting the question mark, there is a two option. These are called attributes: configuration object and the set modify value, unset to delete or modify. Select if you're selecting anything clear. So first we'll go this so set and set. Okay, set under this set. What again question mark? We have a default information originate option, default metric option, maximum outage option. Version we are having like we are using version 2, right? I'm using version 2 in the both, right? Here it is version 2, right? In our IP also we are configured in the routers. Version 2 only be enabled. Correct now? Najis, Moz, are you guys there?
Yes, sir.
Getting my point or what? I'm just is it fine?
Yes, sir. I'm following.
Okay, okay, great. So now after this,
We
the
keep the
same thing.
laptop far away. That's why.
Okay. So now what is the option? Default originate. I will do this later. I will version. You can change the version. Set like set RIP version. Okay. Set version 1. Okay. Version 1 also you can create instead of keeping a 1. Instead of if you wanted to change the version 2 by in the CLI mode. Okay. After that, we have a config option. Config. What is the attributes here? Distance, distribute, never, redistribute. So this redistribute we need to enable. Okay. Config redistribute. After that, what is the command? Enable or disable. So what you want to do? BGP name, redistribute name, OSPF static. After this is an redistribute, enable, redistribute static. Okay. Anything else? Set modify value unset. What is the command? Let me verify once again. Verify and device firewall can reach, but this will not. Okay. To disable. Okay. Config distribute static. This is the command just right. Enable and disable. So set status disable only because config router or IP. I hit this command. Config redistribute static also enable. Set status enable. Okay. So set status enable. So now it will look. It is in off now, right? Static is off. Showing here off, right? Just refresh it. And here just apply and just refresh it. Okay. Again, if you go to the RIP, it will be a enable mode. Okay. It is in enable mode. Should be enabled, right? If it is not, then again we need to go. Okay. End is there. End is there. He has not saved, right? So so config get router info RIP interface. Okay, it should come here advanced, and under this advanced again it is not coming. Okay, we need to configure once again. Config router RIP and what is that? Question mark config. What is that option? Redistribute, redistribute, static, right? Static and hit. After that config. What is the next command? Set status enable, right? Hit. Now it should be. Go to the advanced, and it is enabled now, right? Correct?
Yes.
Josefa. So this is the command how to enable redistribution in by using a CLI. So now again, if you hitting the from R1, it will hit to it will hit. Okay, if you hit from HO lane, again it will hit. It will reach to our ping 1.1.1.1. Repeat count enable ping 1.1.1.1 and repeat count is 1000. Okay, so again it will reach. Means everyone can reach. Okay, got it my point? So this is about the redistribution in the FortiGate firewall by using a CLI mode. Again, what we are having? If you check the question mark config and question mark. So what we are completed as of now? Redistribution completed. Interface also we checked. Offset is not required. Network is just like configuration. Distribution list is not required. Now check the set attribute config. So version we knows, right? Timer like we are having 120, four kind of timer in the RIP, but FortiGate is using 3 time of RIP. Timer. This is the timer in the RIP. Update timer 180, 120. If I change this timer here, okay, then the route this will disturb. If you are changing timer from routers, sorry firewall, then you need to change the RIP from the timers from this side also. RIP one, router two, and router three. Okay. If you don't know, I can help you. Can I change the time?
So if we change the time in the 40, we
The
need
route.
to change it in the routers.
If I change the timing in from the firewall, then the same timer should be in the. It should come in the router also. If I'm
Okay.
changing here in the 30 second, in the 10 second, and here the timer is a 30 second, then the routing table will not establish each other. Okay, they will think like my neighbor in device is in alive, not alive now. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Okay, I'm changing 30, 80, 128, right? Here I'm changing a 5, 7, and 11. Okay, 5, 7, 11. If you check, okay, it is done. Now we're getting everything in cancel. So IP route RIP. After some time, you can't get anything. Okay, here if you're getting, then firewall in. So firewall, no, not so. Get router info. Routing table or IP info routing table RIP. Okay, so here you there is all is removed now, right? Here if you check, where is only directly connected is there 1 2 3 4 and 5. Okay, 10 20 30 45 50 10 20 30 40 50. Only the 10 is showing now. If you hit, everything will go after some time. Wait for some time because they're still sending to each other. Time is not completed for them. Okay, 30 seconds they're waiting. So like that, if you're hitting, okay, get router info table, get router info, routing table all. Okay, so this is the directly connected. Okay, wait for some time. Again hit. I was applied or not? I was not applied, right? That is the reason. I need to apply this first. Then if you hit now, hit after 30 seconds. Check in the B1 in the branch 1. Default route also I need to stop. Okay. 5711. Now slowly it is getting decreased, right? Only 20, 30, 40, 50 means 20, 30, 40, 50 means R2 we are getting, not from R1, R3 and R4. Now it is again it is decreasing now because timer has been changed, right? If you check it now in the firewall, you'll get the minimum only. Minimum means 10.1, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 you're getting now still. But you will, it is not, RIP. Directly connected is 1, 2, 3, 4. But in by RIP, there is only the 70, 60, 10 to 80, 10 to 70 we are getting now here, right? So get router again, it is decreasing because time is changing. Okay. Now there is no RIP, port number 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. This only 30, 40, 50 is coming. I don't know why it is coming, but generally it should not come. Okay. Okay. If 5711 here, then again you need to change that from this routers also. Okay. Wait for a minute. Why 192, 168, 4 dot, 2 dot, and 3. 432, 43 and 423 is coming. Means 234. This is 234. But indirectly connected is not sending, right? 20, 30, here 40, 50, 60, not exchanging by each other, correct? Correct na?
Yes. Yes.
Config, terminal, router, um, timer or basic, right? Router basic. What is the command? Router RIP version 2, timers basic. What is that first timer? 5, 7, 11 I given, right? 3 timer only. 5, 7, 11, 5, 7, 7, 11 I'm keeping, okay? 11 second. So again in the ISP also, if I do same, enable configuration terminal and the router RIP and version 2, and the say what is the command? Timer basic 577 577 11. 57711 means 5 is our, what is that? Interval timing is a 5. What is that? Invalid timer is also 5 second in the 7 second. Okay. What is that second? Hold down again. I'm asking to hold for the 7 second. Again, what? Flush timer after 11 second you can flush the, if you're not getting response you can flush it. Okay, like that. Into B2 also configuration, enable configuration terminal interface, not interface. What is that? Router RIP version 2 and the network, not network, version 2. um, Timers, right? Timers basic. Again here 5, timer basic is 5, 7, 7 and 11. Okay. And again HLN, here also we need to do configuration terminal, router RIP and the version 2 timer config. What is that? Yeah, timers basic and the 5, 7, 7 and 11. Okay, now it is again, it will show swipe route RIP. So now the timer is same for all. So you'll get all the details now here. Okay, every details will come again. Correct? Got it my point? Because timer is same for all. 5, 7, 7, 11. Because timeout
Yes.
and in the hold everything I kept 5, 7, 7 only, right? The garbage is 11 means flush. Here garbage means flush. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the timer and you can enable this static and apply this
Sir,
state. Yes,
in static, what is the difference between auto and metric?
metric means what? Come again?
The difference between metric and static. Auto and
Metric
metric.
means what? Metric of finding the best path or metric of for what?
Here in this rib, here
Metric
is
here nothing is like that. Metric is where is the metric?
Just go
just go
down.
down.
Yeah, here.
Default metric.
Auto.
Okay, here you can keep 1, 2, 3 anything
No.
metric.
Down. At last. In the green one and auto and metric. Yes.
Yeah, metric. It. I never, I never change it before that. So you guys can do in your practical, and you just check and let me know what is the metric. And metric,
Yes.
if I'm changing metric, we just enable filter which one can come, time minimum value, like that we can go in depth also. But it is, I never use this. Okay.
Okay.
So you just verify this, and you can you can tell me what is that.
Okay.
Okay, na. So that is about these things. And now, if you are hitting from B1, again you'll be able to hit because you're now that's so IP route RIP. So IP route RIP, you're able to hit everywhere, right? You're able to, this one is also came. So now you can again, if you're trying to hit ping, ping, ping 1.1.1.1. Okay, so again you're able to hit, right? Repeat count 1000. Again you are able to hit from R1 to internet. Okay, so this is the way how you're going to change the timers. Okay, control shift 6 is to stop this. Now one more thing, what is that? Now I'm pinging from 1.1 only, right? Now I just wanted to reach, I want to check whether my this other network also are also able to reach this 1.1 or not. For that we have a command. So ping, what is that? Ping to where? 1.1.1.1. Okay, from where? Loopback or source IP from where? 172.172.10.1.1. I'm just checking this 172.10.1 is also able to reach, right? Now 20.2, right? 20.2. 20.2 is 20.2.1, correct? I don't know whether this IP is little bit into save 6. Let me try from 172.30.3.1. 30.3.1. So 30.3.1 is also able to reach. 40 dot also will reach. 40 dot 4.1 is there, right? Repeat count, if you wanted to increase, and 40 dot means every network can reach to the internet because it is coming to the router is sending to the firewall is sending to the internet is getting sending to the out this Facebook is replying to your ISP is getting to the ISP is sending to your request to the firewall is sending to your router, and after that again the user is getting, right? Listen,
Yes.
like Facebook is in US, we are in India. Since think just in a second we are getting the reply, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the way how we are going to configuration. And one more point is there about this configuration. Admin and admin. Just a minute. Admin. Okay. So system interface. If you not so system interface, get router in config router RIP. Okay, config router IP, and here there is some more options like set or config. So we'll go to the config and check what is the option redistribution leads. This is also a same. This will also work like a same. Okay, this like this static. I'm just apply. I disable this, and again I'm just going to change config distribute. What is this here? Config config distribute list. Okay, enter set. What is that next? Delete was get. So what is the command? Let me verify once again. Config distribute static. Second way to config config router IP. Set default information originate enable. Sorry, this is not about this. About, I'm just aborting from here. Abort, exit. No option is there. End. So get first delete delete. What is this next? Edit. Edit not also. In that's leave it as config. What is the command? Set default information originate enable. Okay. Set default originate and what is this? Enable. Okay. Now end. Now again R1 can hit. Okay. I disable that if you remember. Again R1 can able to hit. Why? Because by using this, let me refresh the topology once. Okay, by using this again it will work. The same kind of work it will do. Okay, it will help. Look, it is still disabled, right? It's still disabled, but still we are able to reach from B1 to the internet, correct? So default originate option is also providing us the same thing. After that, if you check show router or show IP route or IP, if you hit, you'll get a default routing here. Look, already default routing is there, correct? Default routing is there.
Yes, sir.
So this is the way how you're going to configure. Many more attributes are there. Now it's up to you how in config router or IP. So hit this, and the question mark. Just a minute. Config router or IP. Config router or IP. If you're hitting this, and you can question mark, there is some more option like set. Okay, set config. Config option is already there. Okay, so set, there is some more attributes under the set. Default metric, no need to change. Max outage, no need to change. Passive interface. If I use set passive interface, which interface? Passive interface. Like let's suppose port number 2345. I'm using as a passive interface. Okay, and in. Okay, so now port number 5. This router which is connected with the port number 5, this is connected with the port number 5, right? This is our HOLAN. So HOLAN cannot reach here. Even the HOLAN cannot send there. Even and the HOLAN cannot receive the RIP packet. Even they can't send RIP packet to anyone. Okay, because this interface is work like a passive interface now. Passive means L2 kind of interface. Okay, so if you check HOLAN, so IP route. Okay, so IP route RIP. So RIP is gone, right? RIP is gone now. RIP is gone from here, right? So now we are having one more. Again, we need to go to the port interface, set interface, interface set passive interface. So instead of set, we just need to do unset. Okay, unset. Unset. What is that? Another command. FortiGate. Okay. Diagnose, execute, set, config router RIP. Okay, and the set. What was the command? Set. Passive interface. Passive interface. What is the rest? Enable or disable? Passive interface port number 5, correct? Which is in the port number 5. What is the next? Set. Instead of keeping set, I need to unset. Okay. Unset is not accepting. Enable, not accepting. Disable, not accepting. Unset. Passive interface. What is the command? Let me verify. It distributes RIP default net passive. Okay. Config router RIP. Timers was in the passive interface. RIP timers we done. Interface configuration is done. Router RIP is done. Okay. And we need to check how to disable the interface in config router RIP set interface, not set interface, set passive interface port number 5, right? 345. What is the next here? Passive interface. If you hit passive interface port 5, question mark. When you're doing the question mark, port number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then name passive interface name port link. We are not getting more option right here, so it is set passive. So instead of set, what is the next command? Unset is there. Set, unset. What is the command? Unset passive interface port number 2. Interface. Okay, so set, unset. Now it should get right. Unset passive interface. So it should ask the port number. So which interface they wanted to, unset from the passive mode. Unset clear gate. Okay, no problem. Let me check that this is working or not now. Still it is in passive mode. It's considering as a passive mode only. Okay, unset passive interface. It should ask about gate clear, append unselected, and unset config set. Yeah, so this is the way how you're going to create a set interface. I need to check by unset is enough, because unset passive interface, it should ask the port number 5. Okay, passive interface, for which interface you are trying to do. So interface, it should ask the interface, correct? If it is not asking, then we need to we need to use some other version. We are using the 7.0.8. You need to check with another version, it should work. Okay, so this is the way how you are going to configure the RIP. So in RIP, that's it. Any question on this? Was
Sir, what is the use of the passive interface? Why you
passive
are
interface.
enabling?
Passive interface means you don't want to send RIP packet to any interface, or you don't want to receive any RIP advertisement by any interface. This network, suppose I don't want to get, so I just keep it as a passive interface. It is in CCNA. Passive interface means this paralyzed, this interface port number 5 will be paralyzed for to access the this 40, and it is out of your, out of your some friends are there, right? If there is something happen with your within the friendship, then this is, we are just keeping out from the group, right? Like that, we are just keeping this interface. So this interface cannot give us information. Even we cannot take information from this interface. Okay, this is the blacklisted we are just keeping. Got it?
Okay, so we enable it only for the DMZ, right? To be like isolated,
Yes, if you
right?
wanted to. Yes, if you wanted to. If you don't want to use RIP on this particular interface, then you cannot advertise that, right? So
Yes,
this is the
yes.
way. Okay, I'm just stopping the recording now.